Hey everybody, Hugh Kellenberger here coming to you from Coleman Coliseum. Shortly after Ole Miss's double overtime loss Saturday, 69-67 final to Alabama. Ole Miss, quite frankly, just another missed opportunity for a team that's running out of chances. This is a team firmly on the NCAA tournament bubble that's trying to pick up impressive wins. A win at Alabama, a good Alabama team, a preseason top 25 Alabama team, in a year where losses anywhere in the SEC are hard to come by on the road, would have been a tremendous feather in the Rebels' cap. Looks like they're going to get it. They built an 8-point halftime lead, led by as much as 10 in that first half. Lose the lead, end up losing the game in double overtime. And it was a familiar story. Ole Miss didn't come up with the defensive stop, but it absolutely had to, and then couldn't do anything offensively in those final moments. And the key possession, the one that's going to stick out and the one that's going to be analyzed to death in the coming days, is the one with 18 seconds remaining. Andrew Steele for Alabama, to his credit, hits a very nice open jumper at the end of the shot clock, kind of rushed, didn't have a lot of time, kind of throws it up, it goes in. Suddenly they have a 3-point lead. Still 31 seconds left in the game when they inbound the ball. Ole Miss didn't need a three. It could run just a set play and then foul and get into that sort of situation. It didn't have to have a three. In fact, Andy Kennedy said after the game they wanted a double screen and get the ball to Murphy Holloway, which indicates they weren't looking for a three because you're not going to get the ball to Murphy for that short shot. He's not that guy. Instead, Jelon Kendrick goes in the opposite direction of those screens, ends up taking a three-pointer that was just horribly off balance. Didn't even come close to touching the rim from my vantage point. It may not have even touched the backboard. I haven't seen a replay yet. And actually took DeMarco Cox out of bounds when DeMarco just tried to save it. He stepped over the line, and that was pretty much it for the Rebels, who are now 14-8 overall and 4-4 in the SEC, tied with Alabama in the conference now. And they had an opportunity. If they had won tonight, it would have been a three-way tie for third place with Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, which is a good position for them to be in. That would have been 15 wins, 8 games left to play, going on the road next week to Mississippi State, a game, as a rivalry game, a game at the hump. And after Ole Miss said, maybe poke the bear a little bit by beating Mississippi State at the Tad Pad earlier this season, I thought Nick Williams gave the Rebels another really nice game. He had 19 points. He had 5 straight. I believe at the end of that first overtime when it looked like the Rebels were on the ropes, he comes through, gets a nice jumper. To Jelon Kendrick's credit, in that situation, made a really nice pass in the crease to just kind of find a little hole that Nick had, and Nick made the shot. And then Nick comes down the next possession, hits a three-pointer to tie the game. Suddenly Ole Miss rallies in that situation, got it to a second overtime. Reginald Buckner had a nice game before he fouled out in that first OT. That really could have gone either way. It could have been a situation where Jamichael Green fouled out, where he eventually did, but he could have fouled out in the possession before that, and it maybe would have turned the complexion of that game. I think overall the Rebels are in a situation right now. They talk about wanting to finish it out. They talk about wanting to get into the tournament. They talk about getting better at these missed opportunities. But it's going to be critical that they figure out how to do it, and it's a lot easier said than done. As always, appreciate you guys listening. Check out the blog in the coming days for all kinds of basketball, football, baseball content. Thanks.